It was a cold, moonless night when I found myself standing alone on the desolate platform of an eerily quiet subway station. The world above had succumbed to a shroud of darkness, and the station's flickering, dimly lit fluorescent lights did little to dispel the suffocating aura of fear that enveloped me. I checked my watch. The hour hand had just struck midnight. The anticipation of the late-night metro train's arrival seemed to drag on interminably, and I began to doubt my decision to venture into the underground at such an hour. The station's echoes played tricks on my senses, every distant sound reverberating with an unsettling intensity. The only other soul present was a janitor, hunched over his mop, whose hollow gaze suggested he'd seen more than his share of strange occurrences in this forsaken place. Finally, the distant, ominous rumble of an approaching train reached my ears, and I felt a wave of relief wash over me. The train emerged from the tunnel's depths with a haunting screech of metal against metal. It was an older model, its dimly lit carriages exuding a musty, aged scent. The doors hissed open with a sigh, inviting me to step inside. The interior was dimly lit, save for the sallow glow of the overhead lights. The worn, threadbare seats creaked as I made my way to a secluded corner, feeling the eyes of unseen passengers on me. The train's rattling journey began, and I watched the dark tunnel walls flash by, each bend in the track leading us deeper into the abyss. As the train plunged into the inky blackness of the tunnel, a sudden unease settled upon me. I could hear whispers, faint and indistinct, as though voices from the netherworld were trying to reach out. I turned to glance at the other passengers, but they remained shrouded in the shadows. No one made a sound. The air grew colder, the temperature dropping to an unnatural chill. I pulled my coat tighter around me and peered out the window. What I saw sent a shiver down my spine. Faces, contorted in anguish and sorrow, pressed against the glass, their eyes filled with torment. They mouthed words I couldn't discern, their silent pleas echoing in the emptiness. My heart pounded, and I felt an overwhelming sense of dread. This was no ordinary subway ride. I was trapped in a nightmare, hurtling through a spectral realm. As the train continued its descent into the abyss, the walls of the tunnel seemed to close in, suffocating me. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, and I could no longer deny their otherworldly origin. In a moment of desperation, I pressed the emergency button, but it only emitted a hollow, mocking sound. The janitor, still absorbed in his cleaning duties, remained oblivious to my plight. Panic set in as I realized there was no escape from this nightmarish journey. The train screeched to a sudden, jolting stop, plunging me into darkness. The whispers grew deafening, an agonizing chorus of lost souls. And then, an otherworldly figure materialized before me, its form shifting and flickering in the dim light. It reached out a spectral hand, its voice a mournful wail. I couldn't hear the words, but I understood the message. I was not alone in my fate. As the train's doors slowly opened, I stumbled out onto the platform, gasping for breath. The janitor looked up, his eyes now empty and soulless. He extended his hand, beckoning me to stay, but I fled into the night, leaving that cursed subway station far behind. To this day, the memory of that horrifying midnight express haunts me, a chilling reminder that the subway is not merely a means of transportation, but a gateway to the unknown, a portal to the darkest corners of our fears.